Clonezilla server for easy diskless PXE deployment for imaging computers. Here I made a VirtualBox image of Clonezilla server show. Now here you'll see me playing with the network. I have two adapters. This is the first one. It's bridge adapter. It's basically running off my current network drive, network adapter with the router, so I can gain access to the internet. Now this is my second one, and this is my one that VirtualBox has created its own like switch connected virtual switch. So the internal network clone test is the one that it's going to be running off of for testing purposes. Alright, so here I put a text file in back of this. This is where all the steps I created. I'm using Ubuntu 14.04. I used 12.04. That gave me a huge amount of problems. Let's see. First I put sudo su, so I don't have to retype all my passwords for the root password again. And here I typed in sudo apt get update, and this gets all the updates here, as you see. Now, of course, I've already installed Ubuntu on desktop version, not the server edition, on this virtual machine. Here you see the GPG error. That's because it needs the proper license. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta get the proper license from online, and supplying this this command. But even before we do that, with the VirtualBox, if you're going to try to test this out on the VirtualBox, you have to go and install the Virtualbox Linux Edition. To do that, you would have to go on your VirtualBox over here and go into Insert Guest Edition CD image and install it through that. I already have it installed, but you can follow the steps through there. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sources list. As you can see, copied paste the text command, and right now I already added these two lines over here. These two lines here that will get the DRBL files that I need to install it, and I have it in my text file. Now after I press Control and then O and then Control X to save it, I'm going to go and copy this one right here, this command for the key, and once I save this, I'll be running that command. Now I'll run this command by pressing over here, I'll right click, paste, and this command will get me the key, and then when I update now, I should be able to have that. I won't have that error. So I'm going to copy and paste this, the update again, press enter. Now I should not have that error anymore. Alright, so install a couple more things before we start installing the DRBL. And just follow the text file that I have. You can go through this process. I'm going to install the gawk. Yes, enter. Alright, so now it's time to install the TFTP server, which submits the images that it needs to boot from. So you get the DHCP server, which assigns the IP address. You want to put it in a switch that doesn't assign any IP addresses, so you want to keep it away from the network completely. So when you're installing your Clonezilla server, keep it away off the actual network only when you're setting up your DHCP server, just after you're done with all the installations, that's when you want to do it. Here we're installing the DRBL. I'm going to click yes, enter. Okay, now my DHCP server. Need that for assigning the IP addresses. Scrolling down here, make sure that this piece is resolved. Name server. Of course, this version is called Trusty. The Ubuntu ISO is Trusty. Here, I'm going to paste up my name server. And remember, you want to keep this off the actual, after you do your full updates, before you even set up, before you activate your DHCP server, you want to set this away from your actual network. Have it set on a switch. So now I'm going to change my network configurations. I'm going to wipe all this out and put this in, copy and paste it. So all this I'll be copying. I guess you don't have to worry too much if you're doing this on the VirtualBox. That will check later. So now I'm going to clear, go down, clear this whole thing up. I'm using Nano. Nano is my favorite editor for the Ubuntu. Alright. Now I got my network. I'll make some changes here. Oh no, I don't have to. Ethernet 1 is the one that I want to use. That's my second adapter, network adapter. But for your server, with the switch, with using one network, you want to put etho 0:0, what I just did just a second ago. That, and then change it from the bottom, where it says etho 1, eth1, because you will be using the one network adapter for assigning the IP addresses. If you're, plugging this to a laptop or some sort. I mean, if you're lucky to have 2 network cards, yeah, but here I'm going to go and check to see the name servers again. Yeah, everything looks good. Alright, so now probably gonna, we already checked the name servers. Now I'm checking to see if my IP address is correct. So what I'll do is I'll take a look. See, it's eth1. This doesn't look exactly right. What I'll probably do right now at this point would be rebooting. I believe rebooting is the best. After I rebooted it, there is a command to restart the network. It's on the text, but here I'll go to sudo su, put in my root, check out my network now, if config to check it out. Seems like everything is here is good. My second adapter, which is will be testing the network, will be good. So now that that's set, I will now begin to install the DRBL boot images. This is really important. This is the command that, one of the commands that you don't want to miss out on, or you'll get a TFTP errors or some sort, or boot image errors that you can't find an image. Definitely important command. This command, you click yes, I believe, and then after you click yes and press enter, you should be able to go through and just keep pressing enter until normal defaults. So you can get the those images. 12.04 didn't have the way it wasn't able to be compatible with the download of the images. So the 14.04 was the best version of Ubuntu to work with the images, bootable images, I found, and it took me a while to figure that out. Press enter, it will automatically, you see that N that's capitalized, it will automatically assume it. N is the answer. So I'll keep going. That's its default. So you press enter and you can just press enter again to continue. It should go through. Now you see these error messages. I have a couple of error messages here. So to resolve this, if you ever get into this situation, it's the name server issue again. So right now I'm editing the resolve.config. It's in the text file. So what I'll do is type in name server. Paste in name server. 8.8.8.8 is the Google DNS server, so just to get those updates. Alright, so now you can go and test on Firefox and see if you're on the internet. Here I'm going to copy the command again. I already did a command, so I can press up to go to previous commands that you typed. And now I'm going to click yes, and then go through it. And now I should have my images needing to boot through PXE. So it's downloading all those images that I need. Most of them probably I won't need, but the main ones is the ones I need. It's going to ask me to update my operating system. I'm going to click no. Going through those updates. Here, fast forward a tiny bit. Alright, we're going to press 1 for the default here. Kernel, the DRBL server line here. Alright, now after this is all done and installed, now it's time to go with the next part of it, which is going to be activating the DHCP server and such. Right here is where you would want to disconnect from your work network and go to your switch. Start installing like this. Right after you install your image, you really don't need to be on the network, company network anymore. This, just press enter on this part. The DRBL push command. So it's going to ask me which network do I want to go to connect to the Wi-Fi. I'm in the network, internet. 0 is good. Click no. Here you click, let's see, DHCP server. No is good. Sometimes I put 15 there. I'm going to click yes for 12. I think 12 is like somewhat of a maximum. Click yes to get these IP. Now you got this nice graphical explanation of the network. 2 and 1, 2 here, 1 over here, 2 for diskless, and 1 for Clonezilla box mode. Here, do I want password and stuff? No. I'm not going to go for the password. Boot prompt? No. Don't need it. I like the graphical part. On the next question here, I'm going to click yes for the graphical part of it. I don't care for internet access to the clients. I just want them image, so I'm going to click no. And this is not even connected to any part of the actual network, so. Press enter. Calculating the network and such. Here's where it's going to start activating the DHCP server. TFTP server. Now the good thing about the Ubuntu 14.404 desktop version is that you can save a desktop on the desktop here a text file. So when you want to rerun a command, you can copy and paste it. Very simple. You'll be able to copy and paste and press enter and re-image 12 laptops really quickly. It takes only about 1 hour to image 12 laptops. And as many, even though you have 12 laptops, it doesn't diminish the time. It's fantastic. So here I'm taking a look at all the servers, services it's running. Now I'm going to go and type in the this command right here. That's going to run the Clonezilla server GUI interface. Click all clients, and I click start Clonezilla. That's necessary for everything that you do. And then I'm going to click on select in client to choose what I want to do for now, because I want to save an image on. And let's see here, I'm going to get my image ready to go. Alright, so now it's time for me to set a OS image to test it on. So I want to test it on the smallest image I can get. VirtualBox has some free tiny core Linux images that you can download and deploy under here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save the image in the directory, and then I'm going to come over here and create a new one. The Linux operating system is to test its cloning capabilities. Here I'm going to create the Linux operating system. So I'm going to set it to Linux and Linux 64, other Linux 64-bit. Then I'm going to create the name, test, and then I'm going to use the existing virtual disk file and This is the file that I downloaded. So I'm going to choose the VDI file. And then I'm going to click create. Now this virtual machine is set to be saved at the image into the Ubuntu server. And once I save this image, then I'll be able to clone it to others. Alright, so now that I created it, I gotta make sure that the adapter is set to the internal network called clone test. That's the virtual switch that I'm testing this at. Alright, so now I played on the left side the one with the Linux virtual machine. So all I have to do now is press L for LAN. So I'm going to press L. Now I'm going to go into the PXE mode, get my IP address assigned to it, go into Clonezilla, and now I'm going to start saving the whole image on there as soon as it boots up to Clonezilla. Now you see device image. I'm going to select that, beginner, save disk, and now here I'm going to change the name. Linux test, tiny test. Got the hard drive. I'm not going to check. I'm going to click no for not checking the save image. I'll be testing out the image anyway. I'm going to click yes here. So I'm saving the image, and now it's going to go through the graphical part of it where it's showing me that I'm saving the image. And on the right side here, on the blank test, this is the part where I'm going to be testing it and try to clone it right onto that on the blank test clone virtual machine that has no OS. Here I'm changing the network. Of course, I have to set it to internal network so I can have it clone onto there. And I will show you how to make those changes to the Ubuntu server so we can start doing that. Now I'm going back into the DCS, and I'll be making those changes now. I will set that to clone start, restore disk. And this is where I'm going to use the multicasting, which is really important because multicasting is going to be a lot more faster to use. So I can do 12 laptops all at once with only less than an hour. No diminishing of the speed, because even no matter how many laptops I have, it's not going to diminish it because it's sending out the information all at once at the same time. Actually, that -C, you don't want to check that, even though I put it on the video. You want to have that off. So I'm going through these setups, everything in red is where I'm choosing. Tiny test, that's the image I made. So I'm going to restore everything to that image. Multicasting, like I said, very important, saves so much time. Clients time to wait, that's the one I should have chosen. You choose clients to wait. So if 12 clients come in, it's going to start right away. I'm going to put 3 here because I'm going to be testing 3. The first choice was the best one because I'll be saying, as soon as 12 people come in, start it, but if I don't have 12, start it within 10 minutes or so. Here, it's finishing up, and what you see in green, you want to copy it, save it on the desktop, and then paste it into this command so you can reuse it, so you don't have to do it again. because once you're done cloning all, it'll do it again. Here, I'm popping up the other piece, and I'm pressing L to go into the network, and I'm gonna have set up 3 of them. Now, you can't clone it because it won't work, so you have to create a new image completely. Cloning it will stop it from working because of the MAC address. So it's going through its steps. Once it sees 3, then it'll start imaging all of them at once. And that's the best part. When you're having all of them image all at once, the server doesn't do too much work. It's just sending information only once. If you have the server sending all in different times, then of course the speed's going to be diminished a lot. But here in multicasting, it's only sent out once and everybody gets the same information. So that's why it's so much faster. Here I'm going to set it to internal network, clone test, just like the other one. Of course it has to be completely new. And once I have the 3rd one up and running, it'll start the process. Alright, so it's going to ask me for confirmation. Remember, when you take out the -C in that part of the options, you won't have to go through this. So you plug in all 12 laptops, and they all go at once, so you don't have to worry about it. Alright, so basically all 3 of these will have the new OS operating system. Test is complete, and the multicasting is the best feature in the Clonezilla server. So you're throwing 12 laptops and you're imaging them all, but you're imaging it as if you're imaging one laptop because they all gain the same information. And it's not like when you're trying to image one laptop and another one at a different time and another one at a different time, it slows it down. So 1 hour becomes 5 or 6 hours. Now this is 1 hour complete all at once. All laptops get the same information. And another thing I want to mention is when you're cloning a Windows 7 or other Windows operating system, you're going to have to look into system prep, sysprep, and it's within Windows. You do check it out on the internet. You run that quick program, prep up your computer, and you should be able to clone it to other computers again. So you will have an error if you don't do that.